This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Presents and I'd be glad. But the last time I played Father Christmas, I stood outside a department store. A gang of kids came over and mugged me and knocked my reindeer to the floor. He said, Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boy.
Hi, is this Jen?
Yes, this is Jen.
Hi, Jen. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Now, I saw in one of the bathroom stalls off of East Lansing's highway that you're down to clown Charlie Brown. I was just seeing if that was accurate. Are you down to clown?
What bathroom stall was that?
Off of exit, 36. It's a truck stop. It's a weight truck stop.
Oh, no, that was my son.
Oh, that was your son. Is he down to clown? And is he 18?
Yes. That was him.
Oh, he's down to clown? This is getting weird.
Hi, hello, Coffee Nation, and welcome to episode 12 of the Coffee with Friends podcast. I'm your host, Carl Coffee. With me once again is my sidekick, Tim Anderson. How are you, Tim?
Hello.
Tim Anderson here once again at the CoffeeTimeUSA.net studios, and our guest today, second-time guest, Jason Hollister.
Is that it? That's the introduction? What is this, a sick prank?
Coffee for Friends podcast, member of two networks. First off, the Overtime Sports Network. You can check them out at otsportsnetwork.com or Twitter at _OTSN. Also a member of the Detroit Sports Podcast Network. Jason, check him out at DetroitSportsPodcast.com or at Twitter at Detroit Podcast. Hey, Jason.
Hey.
How's life in Central Ohio?
It's actually was sunny and warm today. Going great. Everyone's in panic because of Urban Meyer and all of that, but I'm doing a lot better, Carl, and I'm hoping to have a lot better podcast than the first one.
Who's replacing Urban Meyer? Ryan
Day, offensive coordinator.
Oh, boring. So Urban Meyer probably comes back in 2-3 years to coach Notre Dame, right?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Once his headaches go away.
So this podcast is broken up into 3 segments. Just keep shortening the shows, Tim.
Okay.
We have a Stump the Expert, 8 to 1, and a Christmas wish list, which will be pretty much sports heavy. The Stump the Expert, 2004 Red Sox, and the 8 to 1. Worst things about Christmas. Bah-humbug, Tim.
Bah-humbug to you, too.
All right, Jason. Did you ever go through boat safety class in middle school?
No, but I'm familiar with it, yes.
So, Tim, and I, during swim class, they carved out like 2 weeks. We got out of the pool and went to the library, and we had to watch these crappy 80 videos of these people crashing boats into rocks and docks and maybe some jocks. I don't know. But listen, after the end of 2 weeks of watching crappy videos and seeing the teachers just kind of hang out and talk about the OJ verdict, they handed us something. We didn't even take a test. We got our boat license at age 13, 12 years old, just by watching all these videos. Have you ever driven a boat, Jason?
I'm dying right now. Yeah, I have.
It's not that easy. Would you trust a 12 or 13-year-old idiot to...
I'll argue that it is easy. Just the part that's hard is like the docking it, I guess, and the part where you drive like your red Ford pickup truck down to the back of it and like put it in the water. That part's hard. But other than that, like the actual driving, there's not lanes, there's not turns, there's usually no one out there. Yeah, I trust a 12-year-old.
All right. Well, then this whole story is, I might as well edit it out because my point was we got these boat licenses at 12, 13 years old. We put them in our Velcro wallets just to show them off, but nobody trusted me in a boat. No one's like, hey, is anyone here able to drive this boat?
We have a boat emergency. No, you can save us.
That's my boat license story. It didn't go as well as I thought.
No, that went well. I was trying not to crack up because it's such a good point. Like you don't have to take a test. It's just watching the videos, and you're like, oh, okay, what's this? I can drive a boat now.
It's a coming-of-age story about a boy and his boat license.
We just usually bash Tim because he doesn't really say much meaningful things.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's Kai?
Okay, so the song of the week, guys, it's from the Goo Goo Dolls' Better Days.
Ooh.
It's not one of their 90s songs. It came out in like 06.
This is a great song.
I love this song.
No, me too, Carl. This is a surprise, man. Great song.
I heard this album came with a rusty razor blade.
Why? Because it's not good? This is a great song. If you don't like this song, I don't even know.
All right, so before we go to 8 to 1, we're going to do America's favorite segment. It's called Stump the Expert. Jason is a fan of the Red Sox. Why? I've asked him 12 times. I forget every time. Because your dad or your granddad or someone, right?
No, it was because my brother was.
Oh, fair enough.
And that's the first, yeah. I watched the 2003 ALCS and watched him lose and then thought, man, I hope these guys do well. 2004 rolls around. They did well.
Are you ready for Stump the Expert, Jason?
Yeah, I can't wait to answer a question about the 2004 Red Sox. Let's go.
Boston Red Sox had a losing record against 4 American League teams during the regular season. Name just one of them.
Hey, Siri, the Boston Red Sox had 4... all right, so the question is, so they had a losing record against 4 of them only in the AL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Angels.
Coffee once again stumps the expert. They went 9-10 against Baltimore, 3-4 against Cleveland, 2-4 against Minnesota, and 4-5 against Texas. So, moving on.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I guess I
Next question.
No, it's just one question.
All right, next question.
There is no second question. All right, guys, I want to make this podcast closer to the 30-minute mark, and we've had trouble staying short, Tim. It's because the show sheet's so detailed. This is simple. And it is a sports podcast, and we'll talk sports later, but it's also a Christmas podcast. But you know what? Sometimes Christmas brings out the worst in people. The bah-humbug segment for 8 to 1 is the worst things about Christmas. And Jason, we're going to go through the first round. We both get a veto, and in the championship, the veto cannot be used. You understand?
Yeah, I got the whole entire internet upset with my last 8 to 1, so... There was a Jewish guy from Missouri that was upset, and I didn't even think any Jewish people lived in Missouri.
Yeah. Here we go, the first matchup. The worst thing about Christmas is it costs so much, is taking on awkward family gatherings. So, Jason, tell me which one is worse.
For me, it's kind of a treat to see my family because we kind of all live so far away, so I usually don't have awkward family gatherings. It's actually usually pretty fun. But I am going to go with it costs so much. I've got, like, as family gets bigger and bigger, like, my list of people I have to buy presents for include people I literally don't even like that are, like, part of my family now, quote unquote. And it's like, why am I spending $25 on this person when I literally don't like them? But it's just the nice thing to do, and next thing you know, it adds up. You spent like $100 on people you don't like.
Well, there's a question about that. Or there's a one of the 8 to 1s actually about that. I'm not vetoing, are you?
Carl, that's your 1 seed.
How do you know? I could have mixed it up.
It's the first one listed.
All right, so that moves on. Next matchup, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
The office Christmas party versus choosing presents. Sometimes people don't give you lists. There's people you need to shop for. And sometimes you're just running around a store or you're all over Amazon and you don't know how you got to the sexual toys part of Amazon.com, but somehow you got there and you know your granddad does not want kiwi strawberry edible underwear. But you run out of time. It's Christmas Eve. And you have to do it, and it has to be next day shipping. So which one do you choose?
I don't even... You took that so far that it was like, whose show is this?
It's still my show.
I don't understand that dynamic. I'm going to go with, I actually like choosing presents because I don't like when people give me a list, and I hate, like, if that was on here, my least favorite thing is like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, do you know me? Like, what do you think I like? If you know me, you know what I like. So I'm going to go with the worst part is the office Christmas party, just because, like, mine was literally today, and it's like, this is weird. I was like, there's groups and cliques that are kind of like talking. I'm like, I'm not in any of these because I just show up to work and like I'm just trying to do my job. I don't want to talk about work in that group over there with the salespeople. So like it was weird. I ate my chicken and left.
You know what's even worse? Going to like your spouse's, your significant other Christmas party.
Yes.
You know, I went to one, and it was at the Space and Air Museum, or some people call it the Air and Space Museum, which is ridiculous. The whole museum is closed down for these people at the party, so we had the whole museum to ourselves. It was like 12-year-old Carl's dream. But I still was trying to find some place where I could sit and see how Patrick Mahomes was doing because, you know, I'm in the fantasy football semifinals. But I had 3 people try to hug me. I didn't even work at this company. So let me tell you, office Christmas parties, 2 thumbs down, no veto for me. What about you, Tim?
I don't do people, Carl.
Office Christmas party moves on. Jason, you're doing well. No vetoes.
Thank you.
You ready for the next matchup?
Yes, don't veto that either.
So we have feeling like you must buy presents for fringe friends and family. It's a lot. Versus, it's too commercial. What I'm saying is, Christmas is ridiculous, but come on, we live in a world where everything's commercial. You know, even when Flag Day rolls around, sometimes you see Flag Day commercials. Big deal.
What are they selling on Flag Day commercials?
You know, 10% off and used cars.
10% off what?
I don't know. A
flag?
mattress? Mattress? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. President Listen. Like that. I thought you're like, yeah, they try to sell you flags on Flag Day. I'm like, that makes sense.
So I used to work in an office with all women. This was the early 2010s, so like 2011, 12, and they all bought presents for everyone, and I didn't know that. And we had the same team the next Christmas. So I said, you know what? I got to buy presents for all these women. So I got them like $5 gift cards from Big Lots.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just confused. 2 of the people said, I've never even been to Big Lots. And they just gave me the card back.
What do you think Big Lots is?
Yeah, they were like pissed. They're like, you can just keep this. I'm like, man. So I stopped buying presents for fringe people. So what moves on, Tim? Tim's friend, Jason.
What? Call me Chris one more time. Feeling like you must buy presents for fringe friends / family. Definitely.
Why?
For every reason you just said. I don't know. Whose show is this?
I don't know. Tim's just doodling along. Do you have veto here?
No. I hate French people too.
French people?
I'm also. She detests the
fringe.
Okay, so the next matchup is shopping hell versus receiving cheap gifts. And I have stories for both of them. This morning, actually, I went to the mall, but it was like 8:30, and most of the stores weren't even open. And it was just mall walkers and me. But as I left, an hour later, the parking lot was getting pretty full. This is a Tuesday morning. Imagine the Saturday afternoon. Imagine you having to shop this way. This is the only way you can get gifts, is going to the mall. Horrible. Receiving cheap gifts, we're going to talk about the worst gifts we received. But I remember my brother, who was 2 years younger than me, every single Christmas, you know how they had the school store? Or like they set up like a Secret Santa thing at elementary school so you can get gifts for your family? Did you guys have that in elementary school?
Yeah, actually, I think we did. Yeah.
4 straight Christmases, my brother got me a bouncy ball. For like 50 cents, that cheapo.
Whose show is this? Am I choosing?
Yeah, I just like to paint a picture. Who do you got?
I like going to the mall. I don't care how busy it is. Receiving cheap gifts is junk, though. That one.
No. You gonna veto this?
I am, Carl, because as you know, I don't do people. Shopping is my hell.
I'm not gonna veto his veto. Shopping hell moves on, and 1 veto has been used. So there's our 4 first-round winners.
You could pull a Joe Philbin and use all your vetoes in the first quarter, like the first 2 minutes of the first quarter of your first game.
Oh, Packers head coach.
No, Packers reference. Shout out Aaron Rodgers.
All right, Tim, how do you like the first round of 8-1?
It went very well, Carl. We only used 1 veto.
Let me tell you something. I'm being honest here. All the higher seeds moved on thanks to your veto.
Woohoo!
Anyways, this is a sports podcast.
It is.
And we're a member of a Detroit sports podcast, you know?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about our Christmas wish list. And that we have 3 questions that have to do with sports. And then 1 is not sports. And the first one is Detroit sports. All 3 of us have ties with Metro Detroit, even though none of us live there now. You know what one of my favorite Jason Hollister stories is?
Tell me about it.
Do you guys remember when Periscope came out?
Yeah.
So it was new technology, just pressing a button and you're just live to the whole world.
Yep.
Now it's not a big deal. But in 2015, that long ago, yes, it was. So my air conditioner breaks in Michigan in August. So I said, Jason, can I live with you for a week? He said, yes. Come down. Now. Are you going to be here? When are you here? Come down. Yep, 3. All right. Did you leave yet? So I got there in like 3.5 hours. We had fun. So I show him this Periscope stuff, Tim, right? Mm-hmm. This dude, within like 30 minutes of having Periscope, has like 100,000 followers. Every time he presses the record button, he has 30,000 people watching. He gets all these hearts and stuff. He was a Periscope star instantly. Do you remember that, Jason?
Vaguely, yes.
And then he just stopped doing it. He's like, I don't care about the fame. I want to live my life.
It got too real.
The dude went to Taco Bell and 40,000 people were giving him hearts.
The numbers are a little inflated, but it was something like that.
Anyways.
I did one time Periscope from a Taco Bell, and it was a big hit. I was like, why?
One day we were plastered, and there was a place to get drinks like a quarter mile away. But we were so drunk we couldn't go there. So Jimmy John's doesn't have a limit on delivery, so we just ordered like 2 lemonades. And had them.
That's right.
Because we didn't have any chasers for the vodka.
It's phenomenal.
That is the Tim's choice of drink, Carl. The lemon vodka. Lemonade vodka, vodka lemonade, whatever that is.
So how do you like the sidekick?
It's pretty good. I think that I can definitely agree with the choice to pick Mike.
You haven't got his name right.
You haven't got my name right yet, Corey.
So listen, Christmas wish list, the main topic, as I kind of painted a picture earlier, we're going to go with Detroit sports first. Jason, you're the guest. It's your world. What is on your Detroit sports wish list for 2019?
I personally am going to drive up to Allen Park and deliver a electronic pencil sharpener to Matt Patricia so he could take that pencil out of his ear, sharpen it up, and maybe draw a play that is not from like 2005. Like maybe just do a little bit different offense. It's the most frustrating thing when you have Matt Stafford, who everyone I talk to is like, oh, I love Stafford. Like that isn't a Lions fan. Oh, he's a great guy, you know, blah, blah, blah. We're wasting him. It's like it's 10th year now. Can we get this guy, someone who knows how to call plays and isn't named Cooter Jim Bob?
Anything else?
No.
Tim?
I want to move that says Merry Christmas, and no more of these Alabila stocking stuffers to get flipped for 2 second-tier prospects.
What? Did you catch that, Jason?
There was so much metaphor in that.
All right. I guess we'll move on. I ranked 3 things for me, and mine are realistic, as yours was, Jason. I don't know what Tim was spewing. I think he's speaking in tongues. But coming in number 3 is Pistons winning a playoff series. It could happen. Probably won't. Whatever. Coming in number 2, I want the Tigers to lose 110 games and somehow trade Miggy. Probably got to eat maybe 30% of his salary. Probably will never happen. But maybe if he's like batting like 360 with 25 bombs at the All-Star break, someone will take a flyer. And the 110 games, I want them to lose that so they get a good pick again. Number 1. Win the freaking NFC North next year, right, Jason? Why? It's been
the Bears and Mitchell Trubisky and his weird jawline are gonna have won the NFC North. Why?
It's been 26 years since they won their division, and last time they won, you know what the division was called, Tim?
The NFC Central.
The Central. Tampa was in it.
Black and blue.
Yeah, whatever. Those are my 3 things. Number 1, though, that takes precedent. Come on, man. Win the North for once. Have a home. I didn't even say win a playoff game.
No. Just win a division.
Be the 4 seed. And then not only host a home playoff game, even if you lose it, I'll be like, all right, cool. I was happy for 16, 17 weeks. Thank you for that. I don't ask for much. Lions fans, We demand so little. How many football fans would wish that their team just wins a division? None. They wouldn't care. Maybe the Browns, but whatever.
I'm excited about my 6 wins, Carl.
We're going to go to the next question, Tim. And you have to be better with your answer. Right, Jason?
I'm looking for a little bit more, but I'm also looking for a little bit less.
All right, Jason, you like the Red Sox, so you might go here for that. Non-Detroit sports wish list for 2019.
I would like Ohio State to win the national championship next year.
Ugh.
Without Urban Meyer and with Ryan Day at the helm. I would also like for Dwayne Haskins to not go to the NFL draft and to come back for his senior season to lead the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Do you like their backup quarterback, that dude from
Tate Martell?
I watched the documentary on him. He was like the best high school quarterback of all time.
Gatorade Player of the Year, Tate Martell. They're also looking at a guy that's looking to transfer from Georgia.
Anything else? Red Sox related?
No. A repeat's gonna happen, so I don't have to wish for it.
I heard you guys might trade Purcello.
That's not happening.
What do you got, Tim?
Some key injuries and failed drug tests, Carl.
What is he talking about?
I want to see teams just start losing players left and right.
I don't think that's good.
No. I like this angle that he's taken because you can't hope for Detroit to win anything. So you just literally have to hope for like Golden State bus accident.
This is how the small marks win.
Yeah,
I got it. Mine.
I like it.
I got mine. I have 3 again. We'll go to number 3. Duke doesn't win the NCAA tournament. They probably will. I hope they don't. Second, I want Durant to leave Golden State. Do you think he does, Jason?
He's gone.
Where is he going? Going home to Washington?
Probably the Lakers.
Yeah. You think? Yeah, I don't think him and LeBron like each other.
No, I think that they like winning, and they both like money.
Okay, and number 1. This is my second favorite football team. I want the Saints to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So it would be this season, but it would be in the year 2019. So that counts.
I get it.
How can anyone hate the Saints?
Or Drew Brees.
I've never heard anyone say, unless you're probably like a Panthers, a Buccaneer, or a Falcons. I've never said anyone, you know who I hate? The MFers Saints.
How can you hate the Saints?
Yeah.
I mean, they had Bountygate. They had everything.
Yeah, see? No one even cared about Bounty.
No. Greg Williams is coaching the Browns now. It's all fine.
You're doing well.
4-2, baby.
Now it's time to Grinch it up, Tim.
A Grinch so hard.
So now we're going to get negative.
Woo!
So you kind of answered it last time. Tim, you can go first. Which team do you hope has a horrible 2019?
The Yankees, Carl. Always the Yankees.
Easy. Oh,
fuck the Yankees.
Boring answer. Jason?
I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. I think it would be hilarious if they literally were the next 0-16 season, or had the next 0-16, and like they begged Mike McCarthy to come back. Aaron Rodgers decides to go be a body double for Ellen DeGeneres and do more State Farm commercials. It'll be wild.
I broke mine into 3 answers again.
Shocking.
My first one, because it's kind of like it's kind of a under the radar rivalry with the Pistons. I got the Sixers. Joel Embiid, he seems kind of a dick, don't you think?
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah,
but he's kind of fun. He has fun. So I don't know. I just don't like him. I hate the whole trust the process thing. They're not going to win a title. So whatever.
I was in Philly for all of the trust the process. We moved down here, and now they're good. Hate life.
Number 2, and no offense to you, Jason, it's just the whole Dombrowski thing. He leaves Detroit and he wins his World Series. I know he won one with Marlins, but whatever. I got them at 2. Number 1, Jason, also an NFC North team. And it just makes me bitter because Khalil Mack was there for the taking, Jason, and the Bears took him. We could have got him. Why did the Bears have to get him? I get them at 1.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that
they were projected to have a higher first round.
I still have a hard. He's great and everything, but like people are overblowing like his contribution. I'm not saying that they're overblowing his contribution because I think his contribution more came from like the sense of the feeling around Chicago and like the team and how like bringing a guy like Khalil Mack, like we're all in. And I think that got people more than his actual play. So good move on the GM. All
right, we knocked out 3 of the questions from the main topic. Now let's dive back into the 8-1. Jason, remember, worst things about Christmas, a bah-humbug. Here we go. We got It Costs So Much, because it does, versus Office Christmas Party. What's worse? And Jason painted a good picture. He went to the Office Christmas Party in Cleveland, ate chicken, and left. But
Was it dry chicken?
No, it was phenomenal chicken.
you know what? I've known Jason for a while now, since 2013, and he seems like a social butterfly. So for him to go to an Office Christmas Party and not be like one of the center of attention, I find that hard to believe.
Oh, I was still, but
So what's worse, Jason?
it costs so much. I mean, that's the biggest thing where it's just like, Jesus, man, I have to buy this for this person and this for this person, and then it all just adds up.
I mean,
Office Christmas Party's terrible though, but
no, I thought about not including It Costs So Much because I feel like it's going to run away with it.
it's not.
But we'll see. I'm going to let it play out. This is the last chance I can use my veto. Tim already has. Feeling like you must buy presents for fringe family or friends versus shopping hell, which you said you don't mind. So who do you got moving on? Or what?
Feeling like you must buy presents for fringe family and friends. That's again, like I stated in the beginning, literally one of the worst parts about Christmas is like I don't want to spend money on people I don't like. So one time a year I have to do it.
So we have the finals all set. Christmas costing so much, Tim, versus feeling like you must buy presents for fringe family or friends. We'll get to the finals later. Why are you shaking your head? Talk to the mic.
Jason, I don't know about you, but like I need Xanax anytime I'm around family. And when I go shopping, like I always just want to like go to like Bender's Suicide Booth.
I'm a fan of going shopping though. I like it. Like if you have money, it's kind of nice to like walk out with like gifts for people. I'm excited this year to give gifts to specific people, so I like shopping.
You know, I have another story about Jason. We were at this party.
No, we weren't.
One of the guys started eating these magic mushrooms. Yeah. So he takes his pen and paper, and he says he's going to draw what he sees, but he's just like doing like a CH over and over and over. And Jason just couldn't get over the fact that this guy wouldn't stop writing CH. It was like 1,000 times this CH.
Taking a little notepad, looking at the pictures on the walls, and then showing me, hey, does this look like that? And it's just a bunch of CHs. And I'm like, no, that looks nothing like the picture of a dog that's in a park. Like, no.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about something not to do with sports. Because this is not just a sports podcast, Tim.
It's not?
This is a lifestyle podcast.
So I don't know if you knew this, Jason, but Tim is Jewish.
Oh.
So he's going to have a better answer because he got 7 gifts in December.
8.
8 days of Hanukkah. He got a lot of gifts, and they had to be bad. So talking to Mike, Tim, what's the worst gift you've ever received?
Well, I just want to know when it all turned into like cheap clothes and cheap household shit. I just want Red Dead Redemption 2. Is it so wrong to want to play a cowboy and escape reality, Carl?
That's a great game. Can we take a minute to talk about that? I just finished it 2 days ago.
Listen, they talked about it on Howard Stern, and I was really confused because the way they painted it, I don't know. My mind doesn't work this way. I need to know what I'm doing. I don't have 8 hours to kill. There's no scoreboard. I like Rocket League. It's 5 minutes. You know if you won. You know if you lost. Red Redemption 8. It's all about losers. You're a cowboy. I mean, if you want to talk about it, you can because you're a millennial and we have millennial listeners. So what's so great about that game?
It's the best game of all time. It's completely open map. It's like the map you can't possibly cover all of it. You can do all the missions straight through the storyline if you want and follow a linear great story that goes with it. And then in addition to that, you can spend the rest of the time, probably most of your time playing the game, will be hunting, fishing, doing different challenges, doing different side missions, upgrading. It's just awesome because it's like Grand Theft Auto meets Cowboys. And if you have ever played Grand Theft Auto, the one thing that I always thought, when I was playing Grand Theft Auto, that would make it better is if I was listening to Kid Rock Cowboy. That's what this is. It's like playing Grand Theft Auto while listening to Cowboy by Kid Rock.
So, Jason, what's the worst gift you ever received?
I'm going to go with, it was this doesn't say Christmas gift, so I'm going to go with a birthday gift because this is the only really bad one I can think of. So this girl I was dating at the time, some people know this story. It's hilarious. It's not really, though. It kind of paints me to be a bad person. But she used to like crochet because she had short hair, you know, and that's what every girl with short hair does. They know how to crochet and play the ukulele. And so she's like, my birthday's March 6th. My birthday's March 6th, and it's like March 8th, and she's like, hey, I'm not done with your present yet. Like, we haven't really hung out and whatever. So, like, 4 days later, I get a gift, and it's late, first off. So I'm like, you might as well not even get me one at that point, whatever. And she crochets me, like, this cat, because she knows I like cats. But she's like, I didn't have time to finish the tail. So it's literally, like, this freaking crocheted four-legged monster-looking thing without a tail that, like, you wouldn't know is a cat. So literally on my way home, when I still lived in Michigan, going down river, like, Van Horn or whatever, I think maybe was the road, I threw it out of my car on the way from her house into, like, the large, like, the cat, like, milkweeds or whatever that are on, like, the side in the ditch. And that thing's probably still there.
God.
And
geez.
I was just like, I was so disrespected. But anyways, we're getting married next week, and everything's gotten better.
Oh, nice. Can I be your best man?
No.
I already wrote the speech.
Oh, I thought that Kai was.
Now, listen. What can I say about Jason Hollister? You know, I met him in the 80s. We've had quite the ride. Anyway. You know, I said that for my brother's best man speech, and it got a few laughs, that line. I met Nick in the 80s.
Pretty good.
Yeah. No, but listen, it's on YouTube. But anyways, I only put 2. Yeah. So I was living in Florida at the time, and spent my Christmas in a different state. And someone got me a ski mask. I was living in Florida, so that was one. Even if I was in Michigan, I would never wear a ski mask. I didn't ski. But anyways, I mean, a ski mask in Florida? I guess you guys don't think it's funny. So I had an office, kind of like a white elephant Christmas thing. You ever do a white elephant where you can, like, exchange gifts?
Oh, I thought you were talking about, like, an office pet.
No.
But yeah.
But
I have.
it was obvious that one of my coworkers, kind of like Creed Bratton style, forgot it was White Elephant Day. So they wrapped whole wheat spaghetti. And my luck was I had like the first pick in the present draft, and I picked whole wheat spaghetti, and obviously no one traded it with me. All these people had these sweet gifts. I remember someone had like a $40 gift card to GameStop, and I gave like a $1.49 box of whole. It's not even good spaghetti.
It's not even like angel hair.
So those were the 2 for me: a ski mask while I was living in Florida, and whole wheat spaghetti. So
that sounds like a Kanye West rap album.
I'm really impressed.
Ski mask and whole wheat spaghetti.
Yeah. I'm really impressed that you have heard of Better Days from Goo Goo Dolls, because when that came out, you were pretty young.
Well, they have this thing called the internet, and you can listen to any song ever made pretty much from any time. So
before we go to the Throne of Awesome decision from Tim, I have the championship matchup for the 8-1. Christmas is horrible because it costs so much versus feeling like you must buy presents for fringe family and friends. Who do you got and why?
So since these two kind of go together and they're kind of the same in my mind, I'm going to say feeling like you must buy presents for the fringe family and friends, because the cost so much might not be bad if you're buying it for someone that you actually like. Like if I spend a bunch of money on my mom or, you know, someone like that, it could cost a lot, but it could also be great. It's just the spending the money on the fringe people that makes it the worst. And I will go to my grave saying that's the worst part. Please, if you're my family listening to this, stop adding to the family. I hate most of them.
Hear that, Tim?
He hates most of them.
But once he
Please
doesn't,
stop adding to my family, Tim.
That was actually my number 3 seed. So not bad. Not bad.
Fair.
So I think this show was kind of short. I don't think it's going to be 50 minutes. Might be over 30. And we learned that Tim doesn't know anything about Christmas, but it's because he's Jewish.
That makes a lot of sense now that we bring a Jewish guy to the Christmas edition podcast. Whose show is this anyways?
Tim is my little sidekick. So Jason, Tim decides who gets the Throne of Awesome, and at the end of January, whoever is in the throne gets $40. And he's going to decide. Right now, John Hill's sitting in it.
No, it's Jason. It's Jason.
Oh!
Cue the sound effects. Did you hear that, nation? Jason Hollister is in the throne.
That's the sound of the police.
Jason, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about? What's on your mind as we say goodbye?
You know what? No, just had a close one get into a car accident today, so real close to Christmas. So it kind of makes you put a lot of things into perspective. I'll use this as a little PSA. Like, just enjoy Christmas. Everyone relax. Don't get into weird debates with weird people just because you're progressive and you know that the other person isn't progressive or vice versa. Let's all just hang out.
You know, when I met,
and watch some Detroit sports.
Jason's such a good guy.
Did you just cut me off?
Jason's just a good guy. Like, when I
That's
met
the
him,
best thing I've ever said in my life.
But it made me think, like, Jason is not a traditional conservative. He leans left. But he saw the left go so extreme.
I'm not a conservative.
It almost was like it went so far left, it circled back right, and all of a sudden he's like, you know what? I'm going to root for the underdog here. I am now a hardcore conservative.
That's a weird thing to put out on the internet, but I would like to say...
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the stereo.
He's pretty much down the middle. All right, I'll stop blabbing. Tim, any last words?
No, Carl.
So what do you think of this sidekick? You know, I don't have... Tim's my only friend from Michigan who moved to Northern Virginia, so I'm kind of stuck with him.
Well, that seems to make... he's qualified.
But he's a good guy.
Yeah, that's all you need.
So for my guest, Jason Hollister, and my sidekick, Tim Anderson, I'm your host, Carl Coffey, and we'll talk to you next time. We'll take next week off, but we'll come back in 2 weeks and talk about New Year. Shoot!
The idea of doing it's going to be great because here's my new in. It's a 10-year NFL plan. Is I'm going to befriend whatever high school coaches I can and then work my way into offensive coordinator, coach at Ohio State after Ryan Day's done, and then probably take a gig with like the Raiders or something.
I don't know. Did you ever even play football ever?
Yeah, in middle school.